Welcome back, Game with King family, to another F1 Manager 2022 video, and we are here for our Monaco Grand Prix with Team McLaren as we continue on their road to glory. As you can see, Ferrari is way out in the lead this season, so there's no way we can even challenge for the win in the Constructors' Champions this season. But our plan is to just beat out Alpine, which we are currently in front of, and we could try and see if we could catch the Mercedes as well. All right, so we see our drivers have some development points. We're going to be throwing those into cornering. I like to strengthen cornering on my drivers. Once I get that at a high point, we also see our rookie driver, so I'm going to be giving him some cornering as well. So with a higher cornering, your drivers are able to take the corners a little better. As you can see, our report is saying Lando Norris needs some defending and top speed for the car. We currently have 2 parts in development for the car. Let's see when we're gonna get those. All right, so there we go. So 26 days for one part and 55 days for the other part. That's gonna be improving the car power. We got a development point on who aerodynamics. Now, what do we want to upgrade here for the end of aerodynamics? DRS, Delta. Let's go high speed downforce, as we are short on top speed. So we'll go high speed downforce, and that should give us a little better to our top speed when it comes to designing parts. All right, currently up to 13 mil. We're going to hold off on any more upgrades for now. We want to do a design center upgrade next, and that's going to be 11 mil, 84 days. We could do that right now. Let's do it, and we'll be broke. Only 2 mil remaining, but we got the upgrade done. All right, so now we're going to be jumping on into our free practice session for the Monaco Grand Prix, as there's not much left for us to be doing. So let's go. All right, race targets. Let's get that in. So we did make it to Q2 with both drivers last time around. So I think we can make it to Q2, qualify in the top 10 with both drivers. And we're going to be, making it to Q2, 2 drivers. So we should be able to get into the top 10 as we did it in the last race. As for finishing positions, both drivers in the top 10. Yeah, let's say both drivers in the top 10. We should be able to do that. All right, so let's go on to the Monaco Grand Prix. 78 laps around Monaco. Let's go.
Cars have been racing through Monaco streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners. From the brake-heavy La Rascasse to the treacherous Sand of Ox, there are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
All right, so let's see what time has to tell for this weekend. Let's jump on into our Monaco Grand Prix. Let's put on our old parts. As you know, you always want to make sure you use up these old parts for your free practice, and so you keep some of the newer parts for the races mainly. So you use up these old parts until you can't use them anymore. All right, as for setup, all right, we're gonna let me go back here. All right, let's start off about there with setup, and we're gonna go 20 laps. How much laps can we get on these softs? I don't know yet, and we're gonna cut that down to medium. All right, let's put in Porsche here in for Danny Ricciardo, so he gets that little extra development point. And we'll do the same for Lando Norris, switching all to these used engine and the used parts. And one of the main thing too is because we're driving with them on a lower speed in practice, and we're not burning them up because we're using purple. It gives less usage on our parts.
Radio check.
So we get less wear and tear on our parts. So these parts that's worn down to below 30% will have a lot more run on them. All right, so let's go.
Who's that just crashed? We can take a look now. Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel.
Ooh,
And that's
nasty crash there.
There's been a crash. Let's take a look at the replay. Now just focus on the Haas.
Ooh.
I think that was a crash. Let's see what happened there. Now look at this. It was the AlphaTauri driver involved.
Oh.
Thank goodness nobody else was involved. That was a big crash.
How's the balance?
Happy with that. Think everything's fine.
Yep, okay.
The session has now finished.
All right, guys. So there we go for free practice 3. Lando Norris P11, Danny Ricciardo P12 on some medium tires. But it's all about this 89% acclimatization for Danny Ricciardo and 94% car setup, 14 out of 15 for his bonus. Lando Norris 100 out of 100 for everything, 15 out of 15 for his bonus. Really nice run there. So let's go see what we can do now in our free practice. Not free practice, in our qualifying.
Radio check.
Good run.
Yeah,
good
confirm.
start for us here.
Track should
Got
be
a
great.
nice little run there from the start. Let's go up to ×4. Alright, so let's slow it down a bit here as we want to wait for that final car, which is Max Verstappen, to come in. And once Verstappen comes in, then we're going to send our drivers out. Just like that. And everybody should be going out for their final run. And we should not have any traffic on our run. So we should get a nice clean run here with no traffic. There we go. P5 Lando. And where is Ricardo? P9 Ricardo. So that's good. Alright, so we're good to go through to the next round. So we're going to wait for Joe to come back around. Then we're going to send our drivers. So right as Joe comes around, we're going to send our drivers. Man, I wanted to send my drivers out in front. But we didn't manage to get them out in front. It's alright. Bottas went out first. Alright, so we're the only cars on... Nope, everybody's on fresh tires. Let's speed up and see what we get. We have Ricardo behind Verstappen and Norris behind Sainz. So 2 good slots. Here we go. We should slow Sainz down because he's not going to be able to go around Ricardo. There we go. Nice improvement from our drivers there, and that should get us into Q3. There we go. So P10 Danny Ricciardo, P6 Lando Norris going into Q3. Really nice. All right, we want to see if we could send our drivers out right as Leclerc comes in. Is where we're going to send out for Ricardo. The time looks a little bit high, so we could wait a little. There we go. Wait a little and send them out right at that 2:3 or 2:45 is where we're gonna send them. There we go. 2:45. Oh man, and everybody got out before us except for Leclerc. All right, so let's see our final run where we're gonna get in qualifying. Ricardo giving Lando Norris a nice little toe there. Hope he's not slowing Lando down. Alright, so not too much improvement. P10, P6 is where we're going to be starting the Monaco Grand Prix. Really nice finish there. We outperformed the Mercedes in qualifying here, which is nice. So, yeah, Monaco Grand Prix looking good. Let's speed it up. They're now our new targets, the Mercedes, and we outperformed them here. So looking good.
Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
Qualifying went well for McLaren, and they're set to start this race feeling quite comfortable. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. And the sun is shining bright here today. This is perfect weather for teams and drivers alike to show us what they're capable of.
And you can't get much more excitement than this on race day. It's the Monaco Grand Prix.
Alright guys, so here we go for our Monaco strategy. We're going for hard to mediums with Ricardo, and we're going medium to hards with Lando Norris. So let's go for the Monaco Grand Prix and see what we could do here. Let's go.
As the sun continues to shine, it seems like nothing can dampen the mood of excitement here at the track. And there is Lando Norris. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. And behind them, it's Ricardo. They might not be in the top three
Man, the
spots,
cars look
but
good.
things could change fast once the race gets underway. The teams are ready to go. We're here and the streets are
Oh man, I
abuzz,
forgot to
and
put
the
them to
Monaco
overtake
Grand
at the
Prix.
start. Anyways, we can
And
do
it's
it
lights
now.
out, and away we
Starting
go.
off with Ricardo, overtake.
Use an overtake.
As you can see, Ricardo started with a nice pull on his battery, nice and early. Lando Norris here doing pretty well for himself. Trying to see if he could go down on Bottas here.
Lando, nice job.
So let's see. Ricardo doing a pretty good job as well.
With a great overtake. Let's have a look.
But Alonso didn't start in front of us.
Lando Norris.
It looks like Alonso got in front, and we retook that position from Alonso. Yeah, looks like Alonso got a better
There they
start,
go, moving up a
and he got that position, so we retook that position. So well done from Lando.
The team watching on and clearly loving that.
All right, let's go. All right, so we can now cut down to neutral as we've already filed out. We can cut to neutral now and start to manage these tires on regular driving and stick within DRS. All right, so we want to make sure that Norris is within DRS of Bottas and that Ricardo is in DRS of Russell. All right. Yeah, we're looking good so far. Bottas kind of dropping off of the front runners. Almost out of DRS on the front runners. Valtteri Bottas. Now he's out. So the top four cars are now starting to pull away. And Valtteri is currently slowing us up compared to those. Ricardo almost out of DRS on George Russell as well. So we're going to give Ricardo a little bit of push and say overtake with Ricardo, so he closed down that gap to George Russell, as you don't want to be outside of DRS when DRS is enabled. Alright, We're gonna say overtake with Lando as well, so he closed that gap down.
Overtake button available.
So he closed that gap down. You see Ricardo now dropping out of DRS on George Russell, but he's almost back within it. There you see him back within it. Russell has dropped off Lewis Hamilton, so it won't be a nice train there as we keep pushing. Alright, so DRS is now enabled. Now we're going to keep that overtake button going. We can zero out now since we've zeroed out. We cut back that to normal and cut back that to normal since we're nice and close to our target drivers. Alright, so we're nice and close to our target drivers. Nobody's dropping off. We see Ricardo pulling away from Ocon a bit. Almost getting him out of DRS on him. Alright, so we're looking good on the times to our target drivers. Alright, we're going to cut up to overtake right around here with both drivers. So we want to say overtake around here. The reason why I'm going overtake around here is I want them to close down that gap. Close down those gaps so when they hit that DRS straight, they'll have a good amount of power exiting to try and see if they can pick off some position. Alright, so let's go and see. There we go, Lando Norris. Now we'll have DRS on Bottas. See if he will pick off Bottas here with DRS. And once that overtake zeroes out, then we'll cut back down to normal. And there we go, Lando Norris picking up Valtteri Bottas. Did he? No, he did not. He's right beside him. He's right beside him. Nice fight from Bottas here. He has the better line. Hold that inside, Norris. Norris gave up. Norris gave up. Alright, battery is charging back up. No worries, we'll get him in the next one. We'll get him in the next one. No worries, Norris. No worries. Alright, so we're gonna say overtake again around here for both our drivers. Overtake again. So we can get nice and close going into that DRS zone. Nice and tight on Valtteri. Down there, right around. Here it comes now, DRS. Rear wings flying open. There it goes. And right as it zeroes out, and we're going to cut him down to normal. Right as it zeroes out, we're going to cut him down to normal. And we see both our drivers putting up a good fight. Lando Norris here on Valtteri. And Ricardo here on George Russell. All over them. You'll get him next time, says, or Ricardo's race engineer. And we're just going to keep at it. As our tire deck is looking good. I didn't even notice so much drivers started on softs. Didn't even notice that. So much of them started on softs. Alright, now let's go overtake with Lando. Overtake with Ricardo. Closing down that gap again. And you see that blue bar pulling up once they hit that straight for the DRS. Here we go down that little straight. And once it zeroes out, we're going to cut back down to neutral. Neutral. And there goes Lando on him this time around. Great drive. Cut to neutral with Ricardo. Great drive by Lando. Did we pick Bottas? Oh, come on, Lando. Come on. You should have gotten him already, man. Keep at him. Oh man, Lando keeps breaking up and giving up at this corner. He keeps holding that inside line all the way around, and then he gives up on that corner right there. And that's where he wants to be, diving down the inside of Valtteri to pick him off. Ooh, Lando spun. Ooh, come on, recover, recover,
Sorry, boys.
recover, recover.
Okay,
Man, Lando is not recovering. Lando is not recovering at all.
Here's the
Let's
replay.
watch it.
Watch this. We're looking
He's not
at
recovering
Lando
at all.
Norris.
Ooh,
A
that's a
definite
nasty
collision there.
crash.
That's
Hope
very
it's not a lot of
unfortunate.
damage to the car.
And that was a
Hopefully
bitter
it's
blow
not a
for the
lot of
team.
damage for the
And it
car.
may have really hurt their overall chances.
Yep, that definitely hurt. He's still right there. He's not recovering. His tires are zero, so he's out.
Let's take
Lando
a
is
closer
out.
look. Watch this. We're looking
Lando
at
is out.
Lando Norris.
Ugh, Lando is out.
Oh, a nasty crash there.
Crazy. So it's all up to Danny
The team are
Ricciardo,
really disappointed with that.
who's on his
Let's
hards.
hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
After we were doing so well, man. Oh man. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's not out. He's limping. He's limping back to pit. So we're gonna go to pit with him. Alright, let's put him on some softs and see how much laps we can, how much time we could recover on those softs. Alright, so let's say box.
And Lando, box this lap, box this lap.
Yeah, so we're gonna put him on some softs. Let's see
Yeah,
what
I'm
happened
happy
to
to
the
box
car
him, yeah.
aerodynamics as well. Minor damage to the suspension and chassis, so we're not gonna change those. It's minor damage. He can drive with those. And we'll see if we could save
Just be careful with this
and
tyre.
harvest.
Yeah, confirm.
Can we see the tires? Can we
And
see the,
Lando,
the
recharge
tires?
button off, please. Recharge
Alright,
button off.
we're not seeing the damage on the
Yeah,
tires,
confirm.
but we're gonna go in with him now.
Landing for lane.
Understood, mate. And just remind you to use the pit limiter in the pit lane.
Alright, so we'll run these soft to as long as they can go. We're switching the tires. There we go. Alright, so hopefully we get a safety car, as it's Monaco after all, so hopefully we get a safety car at some point throughout this race. Hopefully. Alright, we want to say attack with Lando, balance, neutral.
Recharge off, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's almost getting lapped. We don't want to get lapped, so we want to go attack with him so he can push. As Ricciardo now, all we have left in the race to score any points. That was very unfortunate for Lando there, but it is what it is at the end. Tires are a little bit warm, says Lando. Yeah, that's alright, man. You just drive. You just drive on these. Drive. Drive like your life depends on it, Lando Norris. Just drive like your life depends on it, man. Alright. So we're going to go back now to our overtaking strategy with Danny Ricciardo here. Using this ERS to see if we can pull position with him. We're going to say overtake here. And let him go hunt down George Russell. And see if we can get Russell with DRS. Lando picking off, pulling away from the front runners. Really nice. Ricciardo with DRS. Down the inside. We're going to keep that overtake button on. Nope, he's not on the inside. We're going to cut it back down. Let's harvest a bit.
Recharge on.
Because he's not. If he was like beside Russell, then we would have kept it on to pick up that position. But he was not. So let's charge a little bit. Then we'll cut it up to neutral.
Recharge off.
as George Russell is pulling away. So we cut it up to neutral so he gets to close that little gap down. And then we're gonna say overtake with Ricardo around here. Lando Norris trying not to be catch by the front runners. Here comes Ricardo closing that gap. I don't think he's gonna get as close as we would want him to get in this lap, but our tire deg is looking good. That's what we want to see. Alright, so we're gonna have to like close this lap down to Russell. And then we'll cut back to neutral. Alright, so he's right on Russell now, all over him. Alright, stick with him, Ricardo, stick with him. Alright, we're gonna go a little aggressive on the tires.
Okay, to push.
Okay.
So he picks up the pace. And then we're gonna say overtake once he clears this tunnel. Alright, overtake now so he can get a nice clean exit off this corner and close that gap down. Nice clean exit right behind George Russell in the slipstream. Looking good so far, so we might be able to get him this time, guys. We should be able to get him this time. Should be able to get him. We're right on him now. Right on him now. A nice clean exit. And we're just going to keep that overtake on. Here comes that DRS. Oh, Russell just blocked. Russell just blocked that line. Russell is not giving it up. And Ricardo just went wide with him. Right there. We're going to have to cut it down to normal now. Russell just held that line so tight. Oh, man. Good defense from George Russell there. You're on the outside. You're not going to get him on the outside. You have to be on the inside, Ricardo. Not going to get him on the outside at all. Yeah, so you see Lando burning these tires down. We'll just have to run them for a few laps and then come back to some hard tires for him to go to the finish. Alright, so we'll keep Ricardo going at this pace for a few laps. Then we'll slow him back down to standard. Alright, so he used up all of his battery, so we're going to charge now.
Understood.
Recharge button on.
Okay.
Alright guys, so we're at lap 19 and we see with the speed Lando Norris has started to drop off his tires, and the front runners has overtake Lando on their softs while he's also on softs, but they got him. You still see Ricardo here behind George Russell trying his best to get the overtake done. They're going to bring back down his pace to save those tires. And we could say overtake right around here. Alright, so can I get 50 laps on soft tires is what I'm thinking for Lando Norris here. We might have to bring him in for an early pit stop before the front runners. And see if we could get some good laps in on some hard tires to go to the finish.
Hold on, mate.
Alright, so Ricardo has picked up the position, and we could cut now to harvest is what we want. Harvest is what we want. We've had a crash on track, yellow flag.
Let's take
Magnussen
a look at
crash
the
at
replay.
turn 1.
Now just focus on the Haas.
Ooh, that's a nasty one, just like the one Lando had. Alright, so no virtual safety.
The recharge on is good. Focus on recharge.
Yep, understood.
Alright, so Ricardo now charging his battery. For almost 1 lap we've been charging here, so we're going to cut to neutral with Ricardo in a bit. You see the soft tires are getting a bit slow here. We're going to have to box Lando. I was hoping for a safety car, but there hasn't been one, so we'll have to now cut to neutral
Recharge off, recharge off.
with Ricardo.
Understood.
And we're going to box Lando now. We're going to box him for some hards, and hopefully these hards can take us to the end.
And we're boxed this lap.
Yeah, confirm. Happy to box at the end.
Do we want to change? No, we don't want to change those. And we're going to cut him up to standard. And that's going to be his race. We see Magnussen now in the pits. And he's on his way out. Alright, Ricardo 2 seconds off of Lewis Hamilton.
Sunday delay.
Okay, understood.
So this one has not been a good race for Lando Norris at all. It has not been a good race for him at all. But it is what it is. We'll keep going with Danny Ricciardo. Alright, so Ricciardo lap 22. Ricciardo has caught up to Lewis Hamilton and Alonso. I don't know what happened with Hamilton and Alonso, but Ricciardo caught up. And he's on some 71% of tires compared to their softs. So if they go to pit, let me see, how far is Ricciardo from the leader? 26 seconds, 25 seconds is Alonso. So if the leader go to pit, Ricciardo, I don't think he's going to be able to catch him. But we'll give it our best shot with Ricciardo on Lewis Hamilton here. Alright, with DRS now on Hamilton, picking away from George Russell. Alright, so we'll see if we could get Ricciardo to go around Lewis and Alonso and go see if he can close down the gap to the front runners, as their tires are basically slipping, dropping off right now, while our tires are still in a good position to go long. Oh man, Lando Norris, these softs doesn't look too good for him. Let me see, go back on the trajectory for Lando Norris. Let me see something here. If I go like to add the strategy here for Lando, and if we go, let me see, if we go on conserve, they could make it to the end. If we go on 2, they can make it to the end. So we're gonna have to just cut his speed down to 2 and keep him right there to the end, as we focus mainly on Danny Ricciardo, who we're gonna tell to overtake Lewis Hamilton around here, who will not get any DRS off of Alonso. So we should have a nice chance of overtake here on Lewis with Ricciardo. Alright, so here goes that DRS from Danny Ricciardo. There he goes. Here he comes. Flying. Lewis goes wide to defend. Beautiful defend here from Lewis Hamilton. The same thing George Russell did when he was trying to overtake Russell. Go wide and defend. But Ricciardo is all over him, trying to see if he can go around the outside. Is he on the inside line? Yes, he is. Will he be fast enough going down the straight? No, he will not. So we can now cut that back down to neutral. for Danny Ricciardo. As Hamilton now back within DRS on Alonso. Man, these guys are going really long on these hard tires. They're going really, really long on these hards. Really, really long. Lando Norris got lapped by Ricciardo as well. We didn't even see that. Alright, but let's just add back some speed. Alright, battery's now drained. Cut it down to harvest. Who's that going into pits?
Okay, recharge on.
Okay.
Looks like we're going around some back markers here. There we go. Ooh, nice. The back markers blocked up Russell. They also blocked us up too. So we're not really on Hamilton anymore. Let's cut up to neutral here.
Okay, recharge off.
Okay.
See if we could close down to Lewis. Alright, we've closed down to Lewis, but Russell has not closed down to us, which is nice. And we're going to say overtake. The bot markers just destroyed the race for Ricciardo there, and Hamilton and Alonso. How long are they going to be going on these tires? 31% Max Verstappen, 30% Leclerc, 31% Sainz. Man, they're burning these tires down to the ground. Burning them down to the ground. There we go. Now picking up Lewis Hamilton as we harvest. Tire deck looking good. Let's add some speed. We'll be back in a few laps. Alright, so we see the cars are now, the front runners are now going to pit. We see Sainz and Verstappen in pit. Not like we're going to be catching them or anything, but yeah, we see them in pit. So that means that these guys on these soft tires should be going to pit now, especially Leclerc. There we see Alonso now going into pit. There we see Hamilton now going into pit as well. Really nice. They're all going to be coming back to hard tires, which those hard tires are going to be going into the end. All right, so we harvest.
Alonso pitted as well.
And then we're going to cut to neutral around here. How much laps to our pit window? 16 laps to our pit window with Ricciardo. So we'll just let him drive and see if he can pick up some pace from here.
Okay, mate, good job.
All right. Lando Norris caught up to Latifi and is now up to P19. All right, we see the Williams in the pits, but we're far away from those. So I doubt we're going to be catching up to those. All right, yeah, I doubt we're going to be catching up to Vettel. We're far, far away from those. All right, let's see if we could catch up to Sainz. Let's see. We're going to add some speed. Leclerc now in the pits. And then we're going to come back. All right. Safety car.
Safety car deployed, safety car deployed.
Safety car. So we're going to switch tires.
Drive to the Delta.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Where are we on the map? All right, so the safety car is going out now. So let's watch that crash. George Russell.
Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
Nasty crash. Nasty crash. All right, so we're going to go into pit now with Ricciardo. What tires are we going to go into pit now with Ricciardo for is the question. If we go to mediums, I doubt those mediums are going to be able to go to the end. Let me see. Yeah, we're way off on the mediums. We can't go mediums. Nope, so we'll cancel that pit stop. We'll cancel that pit stop. No, we'll cancel that because we can't go to pit. We can't go to pit with a medium, so we hold P5. We'll hope for another incident. It's too early Oh, we could cut this down to conserve, that down to conserve,
Okay, keep looking
this
after the
down to
tyre.
harvest, conserve,
Okay.
conserve, and harvest as well.
And
All right, we see
recharge on.
Ocon behind us
Okay,
getting a free
understood.
pit stop, but we cannot pit just yet because we cannot go
Big
back.
lifts.
If we could pit and
Okay,
go
yeah,
to
copy that.
a pair of hard tires, we can't. See, need to select a different compound. All right, so we'll have to stick with our hards and go with it from there.
Safety car in this lap.
All right, safety car
will be
in this lap, so we can cut back our
Understood.
pace. Cut back our pace, and we're gonna kick it off.
Understood.
Put that on neutral. Neutral.
Recharge
Cut back our
off,
pace.
recharge off.
Cut back our pace.
Understood.
All right, so Ricardo is gonna be on old tires.
One
Zoe is
final
also
point,
gonna
no
be on old
overtaking
tires,
before the line.
but it's all right.
Yeah, copy that.
All right, so there goes the restart off the race.
Cool.
See the interval. Ricardo kind of dropping off because of back markers. So we want to give him overtake, and we want to let him bring up that pace as well.
Okay.
We don't want him to drop off. So we're going to go push as well. There is signs down the road. Let's see if Ricardo can go and catch up to him.
Okay, mate, nice work.
Lando Norris now up to P17. Nice job, Lando.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
All right, so we've caught up to signs with Ricardo. We're going to want to try and see if we can stick within DRS. So we'll keep him on push just until we close that down a little more and see if we could stick with him within DRS. And we'll just let Lando continue because his strategy, these tires are going to be going to the end. So let's update Lando's strategy here so we have a better idea of what's going on. All right, for Lando Norris. So we are on that strategy right there. And we could just go create strategy. And that should update for Lando. There we go. All right, so that's our strategy for Lando. And the safety car just gave us a little extra laps. So that's good. All right, so we're still out. Still trying to stick with signs with Ricardo here, who is kind of dropping off. We still have a good amount of laps to go for Ricardo to his pit window. So we don't want to burn our tires down too much, though the safety car gave us back a little bit of tires there. So we're going to cut him back down to neutral. If we have to let the front runners go, we have to let them go. Let's cut him up to aggressive and see if we could get it, catch up.
Pace this lap.
Let me see if we could catch up with Ricardo. If we catch up this lap, then all good. If we don't, then we'll cut him back down. As we have a good amount of laps, 9 laps to our pit window. We want these tires to last. All right, let's see if we're gaining. Nope, we are not gaining. So we'll have to just cut him back down to standard, cut back our fuel, and cut back that to neutral for Danny, and then we'll speed it up from there.
And DRS enabled, DRS enabled.
All right, DRS now enabled. Lando on this Williams. All right, guys, so we're at lap 42 with Danny Ricciardo in P6. Just a little bit down the road, we have Zoe and So on. Gasly and Alonso and Hamilton in a train with Ocon and Mick Schumacher. We still have not gone to pit yet. Another car spun. So we would love to see a virtual safety or a safety car would be nice for Danny Ricciardo here.
We've just had a crash on the track.
Oh, it's a
Let's
crash
see
from
what happened
Leclerc.
there.
Let's see.
Okay, here's the Ferrari.
Oh, that's a nasty
Dear me,
crash.
They won't have been expecting that.
That's a nasty crash right there. How come they didn't give a virtual safety car for that? Oh man, a virtual safety car would be so good for me right now. Alright, let's speed up to our pit window. Alright, so here we are at our pit window for Ricardo. We're gonna now bring him up to attack. and see if he can try and create any distance
Pace now.
on Zoe
Yep, understood.
to pit. So let's speed it up to our pit stop. All right, guys. So here we are at our pit window. We're gonna have to pull the trigger, or can we go an extra lap? I think we could go an extra lap with Ricardo here. We just need to cut him down to aggressive, and then we'll take an extra lap out of him. All right. So now that we've pulled an extra lap out of Danny Ricardo here, we're gonna bring him now to pit for his fresh mediums. So we're boxing,
And we are boxed this lap.
and we have an 8 seconds lead to Zoe, so they're gonna definitely pass us here. Definitely. We see Lando Norris now up to P16. As he continues to pull his tires to go to finish.
Daniel,
Here
pit lane.
comes Danny in the pit lane.
Okay, copy.
Let's watch.
Lane speed limiter.
There they are. So all of them, they're gonna pass us. Nice pit stop for Danny there. And we're gonna come out right behind. Where are we coming out? Wow, we're coming out way in the back. Way in the back there. We're coming out P14. Behind even Lando Norris. Alright, so P14 is where we're coming back out with Ricardo. Let's look at our tires. Let's go there. Alright, so what I want to do with Ricardo is upgrade his tire strategy here. We want to see if we go aggressive. Alright, so if we go aggressive, these mediums are not going to hold up at all. So we have to keep them right there. And we'll just let him drive from there. So he has some extra fuel. So we're going to say push Danny so he picks up the pace. Alright, so Ricardo has caught up to Norris. And we see Gasly and Zoe going into the pits for a pit stop. So Ricardo got those positioned. And he's now up on Magnussen. Really aggressive driving here from Danny on Magnussen. As we see Lando all the way in the back here behind Ricardo. Just cruising at this point. Trying to do his best. We could say push with Lando on fuel as well. As Ricardo now tries to overtake Magnussen. We're going to say overtake around here. And then we're going to add some speed. Right, let's see if Ricardo can close down Kevin here. Can he get Magnussen here? No, he cannot. We're going to cut back his to neutral as he keep pushing. And we're going to speed it up for a few more laps. All right, so we're at lap 56. We see Danny Ricardo taking down McLaren, Kevin Magnussen. Finally with some DRS down the straight. There we go. Nice driving from him. As we continue to push for these guys. Let me see. All those guys on hards. All of them are going to the finish. So we just need to push for mediums to see if we can get some overtakes on them. Alright, because we should be faster. Let's keep pushing.
And McLaren with a great overtake. Let's take a closer look. Daniel Ricciardo.
Alright, so here we are taking down Yuki Tsunoda. There we go. Move out the way, Yuki. As we now pull away to the next car up the road on those hards. Alright, so Ricardo is going really good here. Going through the pack really nicely. Let's keep pushing. Alright, so we're now on Mick Schumacher. Ricardo gets the fastest lap there, which we should take down in a few laps. We should make our way up to Lewis Hamilton on these mediums, or even better. Let's keep going.
Let's have a look. Now just take a look.
All right, we see Lando Norris catching up to Sebastian Vettel here and taking that position. Really nice overtake there from Lando.
And there they go, moving up a position.
Holding that position, squeezing him off. There you go. Great overtake from Lando Norris there.
The driver's team there cheering them on.
right, lap 68.
Got a recharge on.
10 laps to go.
Understood.
Daniel Ricciardo still trying to overtake Mick Schumacher here. Mick is on 53% on hard tires. So we're going to keep going and see if we can get Ricciardo in there and take down Mick Schumacher. All right, let's go. We're going to increase our pace just a little here and see if that gives us a
Let's see
better
what
run
pace you
at
can
Mick
do.
Schumacher. Let's go.
McLaren gain a position. We can take a look now. Daniel
All right,
Ricciardo
there we go.
involved here.
Finally got Mick Schumacher out of the way. There we go. Nice drive from Daniel as we continue to push. All right, so who's this in front of us here? Perez. So we've been lapped by Perez and we're now stuck on Perez. And Ocon is up the road. Don't think we're going to be able to get Ocon because of Perez. We're stuck on Perez currently. Let's see if we could use some overtake and get Ricciardo in front and add back some speed. All right, so we're still behind Perez. We still haven't got around Perez, but at least we've caught up
There are 5 laps
to
go.
Ocon.
5 laps to go.
And there's just five. Isn't it about 3 laps? We've caught up to Ocon. There he is up the road. We have not yet been able to overtake Perez, but we have caught up to Ocon, and we have to probably cut down our pace to keep
Okay,
these
keep looking
tires
after the time.
going to the end. All right,
Yeah, all
so
good.
let's speed it up to about 2 more laps to go. All right, so Perez has picked off Ocon, so that leaves us now on Ocon for P8 with DRS here. Ocon with DRS also. 4 laps to go. We'll speed it up to about the last 2 laps for the sake of the video, and then we'll come back there. So for now, I want to harvest with Ricciardo. All right. Something strange is happening to Ricciardo here. I don't know if his tires are dropping off or what, but we see Ricciardo just made a sudden drop from Ocon. I don't know what happened. And we now see Joe all over Ricciardo going into the final lap. I don't know what happened to Ricciardo there. I was
Recharge off.
getting ready to go around Ocon, and then we just saw Ricciardo just made a drop. Looks like he spun or he skid off the track or something. I don't know. But something happened and he dropped back. So P9 it is for Ricciardo. P15 it is for Lando Norris. So we're going to give him all that he can get. Let's see if we can get the fastest lap with Lando. We could also give Ricciardo all he can get. And say deploy. And say deploy. And see what we can get with our drivers to the end here.
Okay, understood.
Well, Ricciardo already has the fastest lap.
Okay, understood.
We're going to be losing a lot of money here onto bonus for the race. But Ricciardo now right behind Ocon. There he is right there. Blue flags. Let's see if he can get by Ocon now. Last chance, Ricciardo. Last chance. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can do it down the outside. Ocon got the inside cover. No way. No chance. Ricciardo is going to get the overtake there. Great drive. Max Verstappen won this one with Sergio Perez in P2. Really nice drive. Lando Norris would have also been in the top 5 if he didn't have that major crash at the starting of the race.
Well done, guys.
That damaged our strategy with Norris. Crazy, but yeah. Good race anyways. We got some points.
Okay, that's the checkered flag. Well done.
Did a wicket, I think.
Bad luck today, mate. Oh man, normal race procedures to the end. Alright, let's speed it up to the end.
from Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, definitely a great drive from Daniel Ricciardo there. Definitely a great drive.
A fantastic result for McLaren there.
That's right, the team really deserves to celebrate this success before looking ahead to the next race.
And after this result, the team is fourth in the constructor standings.
All right, so we
Next
still
time, the
maintained
teams will be racing
P4.
through the streets of another city. Join us in Baku on the shores of the Caspian
Baku
Sea
coming up.
for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
All right, so use code word skip down below to let me know that you made it to this portion of the video. Really appreciate you guys who watch a full video for all your support. Bit of a bad luck for us there in that one, but we managed to hold our constructor's position in front of Alpine. We gained 3 points, they gained 12. Mercedes pulled away there, not by a lot, so that's good for us. And yeah, let's get our bonuses. All right, there we go. So that's basically gonna be it for this one. Oh, we didn't lose too much either. Just 67,000 is what we lost. So we didn't lose too much, so that's nice. And we got 4 million. All right, so that was a great race after all. Though we didn't do too well, the rest of the pack didn't do too well either. So great race for us in the end. All right, so that's basically going to be it for this one. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this one. Also remember to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed, if you made it this far. Really appreciate you for all your support. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.